I'll go look at you.
You're listening to the Jersey Tuck Podcast.
Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Tie game with 5 seconds remaining. Incredible save. He robbed him. Call it cop. He robbed Elmore blind. Call it cop. I don't believe it.
Hello out there. Thank you very much for joining us. It is May 26th, and you're listening to
The Jersey Tuck Podcast.
Perfect.
What's
this
a
week
podcast?
Patrick
a
Stewart?
podcast. Yes.
Podcast.
It's a podcast.
This week we're rocking a healthy 5-man roster with myself, Alex, Fred, Josh, Mitch, and Tyrell.
The starting five.
And I just want to give a sincere thanks to anyone that takes the time to listen to our pod. Thank you for following on Spotify, liking on Facebook, subbing on YouTube, and potentially watching on Twitch. Who knows? How's everyone today?
Groovy.
I'm great.
Great.
I'm a little sad, but I'm okay.
Why are you sad, I wonder? We'll get to it later in the show. So how we're going to do today's show is similar to how we did our playoff, I guess, kickoff show. We're going to talk about two of the bigger series, or I guess two of the bigger talking point series in the NBA and the NHL. Have our updated playoff picture. Going to have our usual segments. But we're also going to start off with a bit of a catch-up topic that happened, I guess, kind of right after our last show. So, it's going to bring in a new segment, which we call Catch-Up.
It's called a ketchup song.
We played Catch-Up.
Playing catch up.
I didn't expect that at all.
That's Stompin' Tom. So let me just play that
Good
again.
old stomping Tom.
It's called a ketchup song.
So what we're going to
Play
catch
some
up
rockin'
on...
tunes.
Is that riff actually stomping Tom?
No.
It's gotta be. No, it is.
Good.
No.
I was gonna say there's no
No.
way. I was like it goes from that to like that heavy guitars. Like this next
It's like, wow, he sounded good.
Yeah, I mixed up the two. I chopped them together, but
Okay, I was gonna say there's no way.
man, he's really stomping that one.
I don't. Hard stomping
Rocking it.
Tom's hard rock singles.
Yeah. So the topic we're going to catch up on is, I guess we'll just call it the John Tavares situation. The captain of the Maple Leafs, John Tavares, suffered a pretty horrific injury, if we're being honest. On what day was this game? It was the first game of the playoff series between the Montreal Canadiens and the Toronto Maple Leafs.
6 days ago.
Was it Thursday?
Yeah, last Thursday.
6 days ago. So, really unfortunate because game one, a series everyone is so excited for, a team everyone goes insane for, and literally it's the captain of the team. He goes down. So, the contact that led to Tavares' injury occurred after he was sent to the ice by a hit from Ben Sherratt. Correct me if I'm pronouncing that wrong.
No, you got it right.
That's
At the
perfect.
blue line. As Tavares was following Corey Perry, while attempting to exit the zone, made contact with his head, with his knee. Right, guys? I think it was his knee.
Yeah.
Tavares stayed on the ice for several moments and appeared to be in significant distress. Trainers and doctors from both teams rushed to the ice and attended to him. That was Sportsnet's coverage of it. Good summary of it. Afterwards, it showed Tavares for probably a little bit too long for everyone's liking.
Definitely.
And the replay like 20 times.
Yes.
Yeah.
I keep zooming up on Austin Matthews to see how he feels. It's very bizarre. Weird.
Yeah, he was in rough shape, and it's one of those things. It's similar to what we talked about with Kevin Pillar before. The camera just stays on a bit too long.
Yeah.
Be nice to just have a bit of respect and just let the medical team figure it out, and maybe just cut back to him once they got everything figured out. He's on the stretcher and stuff like that. What did you guys think of it?
Gosh.
Yeah, like I think like and we've talked about this. Like I know Fred and I talked about it a bunch before, even when it happened. And I'm sure, I don't know if like Mitch or you guys talked about it at all, but watching it, like you know right off the bat, Corey Perry, like it was never intentional.
No.
That was the main thing. But like, oh man, that game like started off excellent. It was like shot out of a cannon. Like it was the wicked first 10 minutes. It was physical. It was high pace. It was excellent. It was really promising for the series. And I have never seen like the air get sucked out of the building so fast. Like it just went dead.
Yeah.
Like after that happened. And then like, I think the moment too, where it was just completely like mind blowing was when he tried to get up himself.
Yeah. I guess.
And then he
like,
fell back. Yeah.
It looked like he started to seize like
Yeah.
a little while, and then the camera like zoomed in on him seizing, like from the highlights I saw.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, like as someone who like worked on like a neuro area, it's still that shit's scary.
It's very scary. It's very scary. I mean, you see it in combat sports, and it makes total sense. But that hit is definitely a lot harder than any punch to the head. 100%.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a perfect, like, just everything on the timing was just too perfect.
Yeah.
And it was scary too because when it all happened, it happened so fast. I never even seen it. I was following the puck, probably like everybody else. So I never even knew what happened. So when it went to this scene where he was like, you know, trying to get up and he was falling back, I was like, oh my God. I was talking to Josh. I'm like, is he having a heart attack? Like, like, what's happening? Like, having a seizure, like you were saying. I was like, we just didn't know.
Yeah, you didn't see a dirty play or anything, right?
No.
Like you just hear like the commentators say, "Oh, John Tavares is on the ice." Like they just, it was in passing as the play kept going.
Yeah, so I would assume that the broadcasters barely noticed it themselves. It was that fast. It really was.
Yeah.
And it was in transition, right? Like Perry was just from one end of the rink to the other. So
oh man, he was looking, I believe, right, and then as soon as the scene left, you should just see him like instantly try to jump, and no.
Just such an unfortunate series of events. And like Josh was saying, Nick Foligno and Corey Perry essentially agreed to fight before the whistle, which was very weird. They are shown talking to each other like before the play, and what gets me about it was Perry looked so uncomfortable. He was like, yeah, I guess I gotta do this, right? Like, I guess I have to participate in this, and yeah, I just want to know your guys' thoughts on the fight as well, because I thought it just awkward and unnecessary scene, to be honest.
I think Foligno felt like for some reason it needed to be done, and I think probably at the time in the moment it was Corey Perry involved, so they weren't really 100% sure what exactly happened, so he wasn't getting the benefit of the doubt. I mean, Corey Perry doesn't really get the benefit of the doubt at this point in his career. He's after doing too many shitty things. But I think it was just like, all right, cool. And Corey Perry's like, well, I just hurt their captain, whether it was on purpose or not, so he obliged.
Right.
And Nick Foligno even said he didn't feel like Corey Perry had to answer, but he felt like it was the right thing to do to kind of get the game back to go where it needed to be.
I guess from that standpoint, you can see the justification of it. Like him doing something for his team, showing that, like, like you said, getting them back into it. That standpoint definitely has more merit.
With the air sucked out of the building there, like you could tell, like even looking at the players' faces, like they weren't in it. Even for the rest of the game, like I was surprised that it was as close as it was. Like they just didn't seem as engaged, and I think, like Mitch said, like that was exactly the purpose of it. And also, they don't have like. It's easy for us to say it from like, you know, bird's eye view perspective of how something happens, but like them in a game moment, like you don't have the replays, you're not looking at it. Like they probably didn't see exactly what happened, a lot of them, until the intermission.
No, exactly. Yeah. And I like I was saying, I'd say same thing. I would just reiterate what I was saying. So I'd say, like you said, they don't have I think they probably knew it was an incident play more than it was malicious, but they probably weren't 100% sure because they didn't have the benefit of the replays, and it being Corey Perry, if we were saying, it's like, well, let me do something to kind of set the game back into motion, but also, I mean, if it was malicious, we're not letting Corey Perry walk scot-free kind of thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
what I heard too, I don't know if it's true or not, but you could see that Shea Weber was there too, and it was sort of like, because he was like Corey Perry and Shea Weber talking, he was just like, you can tell like Weber was like, you're not fighting or whatever, because easily Dom Ducharme could have easily took Perry off. He did not. And then I bet you Perry was just like, all right, Webs, man, let me just get this done and over with. Like, right? And
Yeah, I
everyone's
think
like,
so.
all right, cool. Just get it done.
Like I said, I think one word to describe all of it is awkward. It's hard to know what to do because, I mean, like the point that you guys both brought up is just like you gotta wonder how you get back into the game after something like that, because it is the playoffs, it's round one, it is the series that every person in the world that's a hockey fan is watching at the moment. So like it's a big deal, and you got to get back into it regardless of what happens. Got to switch to same topic, but a little bit of greasy news. The Toronto Sun published a cover. The Toronto Sun, for those who don't know it, is essentially a tabloid, is it not?
Yeah, it's a tabloid. Pretty much.
So they had a picture, I believe it was even a bloody picture of John Tavares on the ice, and the headline was "Captain Crushed." And there's a Quebec paper that had something similar going on.
It's a dramatic victory dramatique or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
And regardless, both papers caught a lot of well-warranted flack for these covers.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you guys both saw them.
It was the pictures used that were shocking. Well, the pun on the Toronto Sun one, like Captain Crunched, is pretty bad. But that was it's just a bloody Tavares' face. Like, come on, man. The one on the Montreal one is a bit out there too, because they literally freeze frame pictured the shot where like it was literally when Corey Perry's knee made contact with his face.
Yeah, it was just about to happen.
It was just that frame, and then they put it right on the front cover.
See, whenever stuff like that happens, it's just like you picture these greasy news directors and like, what's the biggest wow moment from this play?
Clicks.
It's like, do we care? Do we care about people's feelings? Nah, just publish it. We're a tabloid. Who cares?
Well, they got your shares. That's what they wanted.
Yep.
Exactly.
Toronto Maple Leafs GM Kyle Dubas called out the Toronto Sun cover of John Tavares' injury. He called it extraordinarily insensitive, which it was. I believe they actually made a bigger statement about it. His remarks come after the tabloid newspaper did the Captain Crunched headline. So greasy stuff from the Toronto Sun, man. Give it up.
Give it up. Smacking the mic.
Does what's his name still work there? Steve
Simmons. I'm not sure if he's still with the Sun. I think he is.
He's another loser, dude.
Yeah, I think he is still with the Sun.
Well, it makes sense. The match made
makes sense. Eh?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, he's still with the Sun.
So last week we started off the show talking about some NBA playoff series. This week let's switch it up and start with the hockey. Did you guys want to talk about that series a little bit? The Leafs Habs series, more on a technical gameplay standpoint as opposed to the drama.
Well, if we're already on it, we might as well segue straight into it.
Let's go right in.
Go ahead, Josh. Make me sad. Yay. I didn't even wear my jersey today.
I am pretty happy now, mind you. Fred, like you've had so much, the Habs have had so much more success over the past 20 years.
Yeah, that's true. So
then Toronto, I'll take this one little, this is like the 1 year that
Montreal got them right where we want them though. 3-1.
You know what's really crazy?
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I think the stat, there's a really funny stat about it. Like this is the first time that Toronto have led 3-1. I believe it was led 3-1 in a series since 1987.
Did he snag your steamy stat?
No.
Okay.
No? Okay.
All right, cool.
No, it's fine.
Really?
That's insane. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I believe so, because even they didn't even have that sort of lead. I don't think they had that lead even like in the 90s, like when they had the Gilmore.
Wow. That's rough. That's a rough go.
Yeah, it is pretty rough go.
I might be wrong, but I swear to God, I thought that was correct. So I've been reading a lot of random ass stats lately.
But on the bright side, Josh, you have your captain out, another player, Nick Foligno, who was a great pickup for you guys, both out, and you're still just like nothing. Like Montreal's just like, get out of the way. Austin Matthews has been he's not even there. It's literally Galchenyuk, Kerfoot, Nylander scoring every single game.
there's another one actually. Here's another really funky little stat. To think that this is the case and games like they go up 3-1 off of Galchenyuk. Galchenyuk was Bergevin's first draft pick, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. First ever draft pick as GM of Montreal.
That's not a slap. I don't know what.
Yeah, that's something else. There's some sort of poetic, because imagine if there's a bit of like a poeticness about it, I guess that's a word. Because imagine, like, after the series ends, if it does end the way that it's going right now, like, I don't think Bergevin's going to continue on. And we could lean into like the tactical part of this, because they went into that series definitely trying to make it a war. Like, they went in. Montreal's tactics were to go in as a heavy defensive, like, we're built for the playoffs team.
I don't think they're fast enough, man. Watching them,
they're too slow.
They're too slow. Yeah, they're also shooting themselves in the foot. I've never seen a team so reluctant to shoot a friggin' puck.
They're afraid. Yeah. They don't know how to shoot anymore.
I don't know how many couple of times I'd watch a guy walk into the slot and he'd pass it off.
In the first or second intermission, and those announcers ask you, what do you have to do to get back on track? First thing players say, pucks on net, work hard, get deep. And not Montreal does none of it. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, like, all of their chances in the series have been generated off the rush. Everything is off the rush. They can't cycle a puck.
No, they can't.
Their power play has been easily stopped.
Power play is really rough.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Like, I know, like, Dom keeps on saying, it's like, we need consistency. But as a coach, can you have some consistency in your lines? The lines have been different every single game.
And also, like, there's just weird management decisions. Like, I don't know if there's a proper, I guess, relationship between the coach and the GM. Like, that weird goal challenge made absolutely no sense to me.
Great meme, though. Great meme.
Yeah. And it came from above, too, right? Like, I don't think Ducharme challenges that unless, like, he's hearing from management, right?
Yeah.
Because they have, like, the eyes in the sky looking at it, right? But it's really weird. And then also, it seems like there's a lot of decisions being made to save jobs as opposed, or save face, as opposed to, like, the benefit of the team. Like, Romanov, Caulfield, all these rookie players should be playing. Caulfield only gets in game 3.
Yeah.
Romanov still hasn't even played a game, right? But they're playing the veterans that Bergevin picked up at the deadline. Right?
As it's going to save your ass next year.
And to save face, be like, I made these moves. Like, I got to show faith in the GM.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Like, there's just an awkward. There's going to be changes in Montreal. I
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you do? They just signed it.
Padiwa.
Hey, I'm all game. You put an angry Padiwa.
Round 2
Luck with that. Good fucking luck with that. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
So got any predictions for how the series is going to end? I mean, it's
hey guys, check it out. I said Twitter, Leafs were going to win 4-1. I did.
You did indeed.
4-1 I did. Yep. That's it.
Check Fred's Twitter.
Check it up.
I think it'd be very fitting too that the Canadians announced that if they make it to Game 6, they can have an attendance.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So I think it'll end just cause it's an extra stab to the heart. It'll be end of Game 5.
They're selling tickets today.
I forgot about
the season ticket holders. Yeah.
And refunding them after tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, a day later.
To be honest with you guys, I don't think it's gonna happen, man. Like, watch it. Like, if you watch that entire game, they didn't look like a team who wanted to be there. To be honest, they really didn't.
Especially towards the end of it, like, they had a wide shot of the bench. And
there was no life.
There was no life. The bench was just, like, miserable.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate your analyst hat, Fred. We really do. Is there a series that you want to talk about, Mitch?
Oh yeah.
But you want to just briefly just grace over the Oilers just stinking, just really briefly. We'll talk about another series, but the Oilers were bumped from the playoffs. A little sweepy.
The moral of the story is depth, and they don't have it. They have a top line.
They literally don't have depth.
They
have McDavid, Draisaitl, and Nugent Hopkins.
And even Nuge did nothing really.
Yeah, and he was
Darnell
okay.
Nurse.
Everyone else, but that's defense. Their defense is not the worst, but because, like, if healthy, you got Darnell Nurse, you got Adam Larson, you got Clefbaum, and Tyson Barrie, who comes and goes, but he put up points. See, Ethan Bear, I don't know, man. It's hit or miss. Like, he had a really bad series. He's not solidified yet, so you can't count him on. But at least they got a decent top 4.
Yeah.
But I mean, they said I don't know how. I don't know why, but they're saying they were happy with Mike Smith, and I know he played decent, but man, I think he's too young to be too older now to go back on. He can't go.
What is he, 39?
Yeah.
Shit.
So I mean, it's just I don't know, and it's like I said, it's their depth scoring, man. It's literally McDavid, Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins. Cassian is not someone.
He's not
that should
a
be on the
first
top
liner,
line.
man.
Collar Yamamoto, man. I don't know. There's potential there, but I don't see anything amazing from him. Puljujarvi has been hit or miss ever since he started his career. I mean, don't think he's anything special. And then I literally can't name the rest of the team. So
yeah,
Archibald, who was
he single-handedly he pretty much ruined everything.
He screwed them in the third game, right?
Yeah.
But just to touch on it like a little bit, and I know it's kind of it's I keep talking about this, but there is a difference in playoff hockey, and it's really funny. It's really funny to see. I actually think Winnipeg Jets and the Oilers are very similar. They're thin. They have thin defense. They have a lot of offense. They have offensive weapons, right? The really big difference too is that it's the goaltending as well.
Goaltending is huge, yeah.
And they played that way. Hellebuck just won a Vezina last year.
Yeah.
And really
I didn't think he played amazing though that series. He just did enough. But just did what he had to do.
Yeah, but talk of playoff hockey, you got to go into series. You're playing a team possibly 7 games. You key in on certain strategies, and I think the Edmonton Oilers are the easiest team to game plan against. Really?
Oh, hands down.
Yeah, even though they have Connor McDavid, the best offensive player in the world, he's not going to draw penalty calls like he does in the regular season. No. They probably looked at Winnipeg probably looked at the 3-game set that Toronto had, where they literally played each one of their goaltenders. They won all 3 games. McDavid and Draisaitl didn't score a goal. Yeah. And they look at that and they're just we're going to play him like this. And that's it. They shut him down because there was nothing else.
So this series, if anything, it brought us some nice sound pieces. We had Stephen A. Smith do a little spiel about it because ESPN recently picked up some sort of deal with the NHL. So everyone was eager to hear what Stephen A. Smith had to say, as always. And we got some great new sound bites. For example,
swept.
Still creeps me out.
It is very creepy. So the Oilers have been
swept.
And
in what round?
This we also got another one. This is the last one I got from the clip for now.
Last year. Last year.
Yeah, great sound bites. That's Stephen A. Man. He's always good for a good sound bite.
And he's now covering hockey.
I love it.
I can't imagine that at all.
It's excellent.
I'm looking forward to it. It's fun stuff. Mitch, was there any series that you wanted to cover aside from the Oilers one? No,
that was the main go. Just a quick recap. No, unfortunately for you, Colorado swept the Blues, but
swept.
That was literally just a matter of one of the best teams.
Being the best team.
That was just Colorado. They're outmatched. You know what sucks, Alex? I didn't realize too. David Perron was cleared from the COVID list Sunday night after the final game.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. Bummer.
Oh my God. Yeah. And the fact that it's a COVID injury, I shouldn't air quote that, but the fact that it was COVID as opposed to some kind of, sprain, anything like that, that just makes it worse, man.
Yeah, it sucks. Now, I was just reading there earlier too, because I think I was saying before, because it was going to remember that he didn't get the vaccination, but apparently he's saying he did get the vaccination.
Okay.
But he still tested positive. So that is something known, that even if you get the vaccination, you can still test positive.
Right.
He probably didn't have the same side effects, right?
Yeah. So, but yeah.
I got a quick question for you on that, Mitch. So watching that series, because I think there was a lot of sports bettors opening that up, that was actually a wide margin, one of the widest ones.
Yeah.
For a first and 4th place.
Right.
Because I didn't really watch much of the games. I saw some of the highlights. How utterly dominant was it, Colorado? And also do you chalk it up to also a lot more of say maybe St. Louis like, just not being able to keep up with Colorado, or like, did they challenge them at all? Like, I didn't really watch much of the series.
To be honest with you, the only time the Blues look good is when the Colorado stopped playing their game and they took their foot off the gas.
Okay.
I mean, Grubauer looked great, but he never had to make crazy highlight reel saves. Okay. Binnington for like the first couple of games is the only thing stopping the score from being like 8-1.
Yeah, Mitch, what was that thing? It's Grubauer, right?
Yeah.
Did he like
His
tweet
Twitter?
something? Yeah, but
so
Binnington.
It was from the Instagram post. It's from the first game when Binnington came down and kind of tried to get into his face.
Yeah.
It was just like Binnington pointing at him. He's like, I think it was the caption just like fond first round memories.
Yeah, I
like
died. I died at it.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It was just a thing. I kind of feel bad, but I don't. Like, O'Reilly guaranteed that they were going to beat them, and O'Reilly played like absolute garbage, man.
Yeah,
he was on the wrong end of the puck all series long,
which is unlike him.
Yeah, it was weird, man. And it's just I know like it sucks they're losing Perron, and they might have squeezed the game out, but even having Perron, it wasn't going to make a difference. I don't think.
No, one player's not going to make a difference.
Who do you think?
Like that.
Who do you think you got next? Minnesota or Vegas?
Vegas. There's no way. Like Minnesota should have won the last game. They just managed to squeak out somehow. It was just Vegas absolutely burning. And Vegas is the team. As a Colorado fan, is the one I fear the most.
Yeah, I feel like maybe if they make it like the Vegas Colorado series is really gonna tell a tale of really who goes to the final.
Yeah,
like I don't think anyone's gonna stop either one of those teams to the final. And then at that point, it's just gonna be a battle of health.
Yeah, like it always is. Well, that's what I fear too, to be honest with you, because Vegas has a history of injuring Colorado players.
Yeah.
And I think even if Colorado beat them, I don't know how healthy Colorado are going to come out of that series.
Right. Well, we got some sweeps, we got some drama. It's looking good for the NHL so far. We got a bit of everything. Let's get to the steamy stat.
Yeah.
That stat is steamy. The steamy stat.
This week, Fred graces us with another steamy stat. Take it away, Fred.
Groovy. So this one goes on the whole topic of when the Oilers got swept. That game went to triple overtime, and Darnell Nurse, defenseman for that team, he played a heck of a game, but it is what it is. His time on ice was 62 minutes and 7 seconds, second to only Seth Jones back in 2020 for Columbus, which he played 65 minutes and 6 seconds. Oof. But what makes that crazy? So second in time on ice ever in a game. It's pretty impressive. But an average shift in hockey is say 50 seconds to a minute 30. Unless you're like McDavid, you probably get 2 minutes.
Definitely something that the average fan knows about hockey for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But Darnell Nurse had one shift that was 4 minutes and 28 seconds.
Are you kidding me?
4 minutes and 28 seconds. And that was in the first period, and out of that, or the first OT, in that 20 minutes of OT, he played 15 minutes.
Oh my God, he almost played the entire period.
Wow. Unbelievable.
So, and to further that, what makes this even more impressive?
Yeah.
After that game, he flew home, and then his wife had a baby.
Yeah. So he was up all night.
He was just like up all night right there. So like literally, like I think it was like just a mere hours after, there's just a picture of her, like they have the baby, and he's just standing beside them, and he's literally like this.
Kill me.
That is
like, I played
wild,
2 games.
dude. That's wild.
But what's even more crazy, that isn't even a steamy stat. Oh, you guys.
Curveball.
All right.
The bait and switch.
So now that I fucking threw the bait and I just baited you guys in, bringing you guys in, the steamy stat goes back to 1994.
Cool.
Alex Kovalev. Swear to God, in his second season with the Rangers, Mike Keenan got pissed off at him because he would never come off the ice because he's like, come on, lane change.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's like, I'm playing a little longer. So Keenan, being a hothead that he is, whenever Kovalev got tired and he tried to skate back, he was like, get the fuck back out there. So he went back out and he kept going. The play kept going. He tried to skate back. He's like, no, keep going.
Right.
So the longest shift ever, it's over 5 minutes. They don't know. There wasn't an official time on ice. It was 5 minutes. Keenan said it was between he thinks it was 7 minutes.
Right.
The crazy part was his last, say, couple of minutes, he ended up scoring that goal. Wow. And then him and Keenan win the Stanley Cup together. So coaching, boys, I'm telling you, coaching, you're a hard-ass coach.
Hey,
bring it out of you.
Lesson learned: keep your guys on the ice for 5 minutes. You'll win a championship.
The funny thing was, Kovalev thought he was being rewarded when really Keenan said he was being punished.
Oh my God, that's great.
Oh, that's pretty funny, man.
It's really funny. That is the most Kovalev thing to happen.
Oh, absolutely.
That's great. Love it.
Pretty amazing.
Let's shift gears a little bit to the NBA side of the playoffs. So let's see. Do you want to start off with a little Knicks Hawks, Tyrell?
Yeah, actually, they're playing right now. The Hawks are kicking their asses again.
Wow.
And they're at that's game 2 at Madison Square Garden.
So, is it quiet?
Is it quiet?
Is it quiet?
I don't know. I'm just seeing a score here now. I thought that first game was really good. Honestly, I never thought I'd be talking about Knicks basketball ever on a podcast.
Yeah.
But here we are. Yeah, except just Trae Young is just a bad man.
He is, and I mean, he's a guy that
I like Trae Young.
He's a guy that gets a lot of hate for. You know what? I don't really know why. There was some stuff going around a while that he was a bad locker room guy, especially at the beginning of the season. It was him and John Collins jockeying for the whole is it my team? Is it your team? Kind of bullshit. But I mean, it's pretty obvious.
It's Trae Young's.
It's Trae Young's team.
Yeah. Media loves to latch on to stories like that.
They really do.
Fly with them anyway. But I think my favorite thing out of that whole series is that video of the New York City mayor calling out Trae Young.
So for those who haven't seen it, it's the mayor of New York. I should have posted it in the doc, but easy to find online. The mayor of New York, he stops some sort of non-sports press conference to be like, all right, I just gotta say that hey, Trae Young, what you play isn't basketball, as the great Steve Nash would say. So something to do with it was that's cringe. Not basketball. And it's hunting for fouls isn't basketball, and the Knicks are going to kick your butt. That's
did he ever watch LeBron James?
How many years are we going to have this conversation when a team that's losing to, realistically, Trae Young had one of the top 3 best playoff game starts ever.
Yeah.
Now, when you're losing to someone like that, you have no way. As good as Julius Randle is, as good as the Knicks have been this year, they have no one who can contain Trae Young.
Nope.
You're just grasping at straws. I know he does that he jumps and then he'll jump into somebody. And that's what everyone's getting pissed off about. But have you heard of James Harden?
Yeah. It's unfortunately it's part of the game, and if dudes take advantage of it, it's it's a little bit your fault if you're contesting towards them. Yeah. I mean, I don't like it anyways.
If he gets you off your feet with a pump fake and you jump towards him while he's jumping towards you, that's on you.
Punish it, yeah.
You stay feet on the ground or straight up. That's your only 2 options. So if he gets you to bite on that, that is Trae Young being an amazing basketball player.
It's a good offensive player, right?
Yep. It's all you said, Tyrell.
Baiting defense.
It's about making you bite on the pump fake.
And that's what separates him, that's what separates James Harden from the rest. It's what separates Kevin Durant and LeBron. They know how to get calls.
Yep. And reading the defense and all that kind of stuff. And it's exactly what he did, man. He was clutch. My God. I can't say I expected that big of a boom, because the Hawks and him have kind of been such a ho-hum story in the NBA the past couple of years. And now this was his debut. Hell of a debut. It was awesome. Loved it.
Alex, do you have his numbers for that game, actually?
I don't at the moment. Go, Tyrell.
He scored 32 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds. No. What his shooting percentage was.
How efficient was Trae Young?
It was pretty efficient, though, from what I remember.
Nice. I love how he plays villain, man, and just shushing everybody. I love it.
It's fun. You gotta love it.
He shot 11 for 23.
Okay.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
Especially doing it in a city like New York. Like, that's excellent.
And then with fans back, like how loud it was with that, like there was only like 3,000 or 4,000 people there. How loud it was, and I love the close up of Spike Lee.
Yes,
Trey was switching everyone. Spike Lee was like,
"Shit."
He's just feeding off of it, man.
Man,
like, that's excellent.
Like you got to feel somewhat happy for Spike Lee because like the Knicks are back, kind of thing. But they got smacked, and I didn't hear it because I'm guessing the highlight pack, purposely avoided it. But apparently, New York was all about the "fuck you, Trey" chants.
Yeah, they were.
So apparently, apparently there was a lot of that. And for those who haven't seen the final minutes, Trae Young, I didn't know this until I rewatched it. He broke a double team to put up a layup, which sealed the deal. With like 0.9 left to go. And as soon as it happened, the camera went to Trae Young, and he's like fired up, and you can read his lips clear as day. He's like, "It's quiet as fuck in here." And it's
yes.
I love
and
it.
it's so good because like they were so loud the whole game. You had our Canadian boy RJ Barrett, friggin'. He put up a poster on Bogdanovich, made the whole crowd erupt. Derrick Rose had an incredible game. Manuel quickly had an incredible game for the Knicks. Like the whole place was absolutely buzzing, and I'm really excited because I'm pretty sure Game 2 is happening now.
Right now,
like you said. And,
I know it sounded like I was chirping the Knicks a lot, but I really think Thibodeau got robbed for Coach of the Year because like the amount of culture shift that I've seen in just one season for New York, like. Last season, we were talking about James Dolan and like they were kicking kicking Spike Lee out of the arena and like
yes, right, forgot about that
and stuff like that. And now it's like everyone's shooting 40% from three, and you're playing good basketball. And it's just like you don't hear about the management, the mismanagement, I guess, of the Knicks anymore.
Yeah. It all goes away when you win.
Yeah, that's true.
It just gets quiet when you win.
Another thing I want to point out, Danilo Gallinari was rocking the Travis Bickle taxi driver mohawk, so he busted that out. Looks sick. Looks awesome. But I mean, pretty much all I had left to say about the game. Derrick Rose had an incredible game. And he actually mentioned this afterwards. He does not like to be called vintage Derrick Rose. He had one of those classic like screenshot of notepad things on Instagram. He's like. How would you feel if all people did was refer to your past and say like, "Oh, this is like past you, not now"? He's still a pretty good basketball player. A
few injuries, but
he lost his speed and athleticism, but man, he still got it. He adjusted.
Like he can adjust midair and make some crazy like reverse layups and stuff like that, which he was doing, and make some good passes too. He was passing the ball well in that game as well. But yeah, I gotta say I'm excited for round 2. Well, watching the highlights of round 2 for sure, and seeing where that series goes. I'm really curious if the Knicks can make any sort of adjustment to Trae Young, but we'll see. Not sure if Emmanuel quickly is their starting point guard or not. So yeah, we'll see how that pans out. We'll move on to Lakers Suns for a little bit.
Man,
big series there. I would say
tied up now, 1-1.
Yeah, it's 1-1 now. Watched a lot of the first game. Devin Booker, talented dude. I don't watch much of him during the regular season. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's all he had going for him thus far because this is his playoff debut as well, is it, Tyrell? I think.
Yeah. It's a bunch. I think it's like. It's like 4 or 5 like. Future superstars who debut in this playoff.
And those are two guys who really embrace the moment too, because like you see him like penetrate the defense, pull up on the elbow, and make this like really high rising mid range jumper. Like he has a lot to his game, and I guess where I don't watch much of his stuff, I don't really realize. I just see the splits and the numbers, but great basketball player. And Chris Paul's insanely good, always.
Was it last game or was it game 1 where Chris Paul went down with the
game 1?
It was game 1. Like
game 1.
Was anything said about it? Because he came back, right?
Honestly, I think it's a lot worse than they're letting on because he only played about 20 minutes in game 2, and if he's doing that, like it's serious.
Yeah. He's being a warrior, man.
And unfortunately, you could see it in his jumper too. Like he's like pushing the ball up, and it's not silky smooth as it should be. So
that sucks, man.
That's
unlucky. Yeah. Chris Paul is like.
I'm having flashbacks to the Houston series where like we were primed to win, and then Chris Paul goes down. And like honestly, Phoenix
he's cursed, man.
As good as Devin Booker is, Phoenix is only going to go as far as Chris Paul takes it. And Chris Paul is playing.
And like I don't know how big his contract is. I can't quite remember, but
it's not small. It's still the one that because I'm pretty sure Houston traded it away. I'm pretty sure it was like 25, 30 million or something like that.
So that's it.
On the other side, on the other side, to talk about the Lakers for a second. Was it that game or was it in the? Just correct me if I'm wrong. Like, was it in the not the wild card game, the play-in? The LeBron the LeBron James the I saw 3 nets or 3.
That was the play-in.
The play-in. Oh my God, blows my mind, man. Like he's so full of
so dramatic.
It doesn't even touch his eye.
I don't think we got to talk about the Warriors Lakers play-in last week, did we?
I don't think so.
I'm sure.
I think it was that night.
Yeah. So great game, incredible game. Unfortunately, the Warriors got smacked by the Grizzlies. So really pumped.
Yeah. That's the other debut is John Morant.
Yeah. So I mean, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but that is the only disruption that came from the play-in because Warriors were 8th seed, I think.
Yeah.
And Grizzlies were 9th seed. So cool to see. Hey. But
playing works.
Yeah, Steph honestly didn't seem that salty about it because he's on Instagram Live with some rapper afterwards. I can't quite remember, J. Cole or something like that. Who really cares? But I'm sure the NBA cares because a lot less people are watching the Grizzlies than the Warriors. That's for sure.
You want your stars in it, man.
Yeah.
John Morant, hell of a player. Love him.
John Morant fucking just wants it though, man. The amount of emotion that guy plays with.
I'm actually surprised that he's doing that well. He really does want it. One thing, I guess we'll switch over to just chat Grizzlies and Ja for a little bit. It was a tendency in the regular season, and they talked about this a lot in the play-in broadcast. Was Ja can't shoot 3, which I mean his numbers aren't great for 3, so it makes a little sense. They would do the classic disrespect, not guard him on the perimeter, stay back.
Oh man,
and he's above a 30% though, isn't he? Like,
is he really? Then maybe it's his numbers against the Warriors, perhaps. But again, that wouldn't make sense if he's open. So they were leaving him open. Pretty sure he thought, or he shot 3 for 4 of those wide open shots. So he killed him, made him pay for that, which was so badass to see. Like they were showing him being left open all regular season, and then they're in the playoffs it's like, all right, I'll take that. It's just 3 free triples, so it was awesome. And of course he was like super clutch when time winded down as well. Go ahead, Tyrell.
I'm excited for him, honestly, like going in the future. Like every interview he played, like he's playing with a chip on his shoulder, and like in interviews they're like, do you feel disrespected by the league? He's like, oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And even after he wins like rookie of the year, he still plays like that, like he has something to prove.
Yep.
And it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, he's tough as nails, dude. Like there's a couple plays I noticed in both the playoff game and like the play-in where he would hit the deck hard. He's always throwing his body when he's either defending or driving to the hoop. He's like slamming himself to the floor, just gets right up right away. No bullshit of like, oh my god, heart fell to my stomach kind of thing. Like he gets up right away.
Derek Rose has entered the chat though. Derek Rose is like, bro, we gotta stop doing that. Trust me.
Yeah, really though. Yeah.
It's scary. It's fun to watch, but it's scary when you have a young player who just has no regard for his body.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like you said, Derek Rose has entered the chat. So creepy stuff. Hey, Ja, keep it under control, buddy. Give it up. Is that all? Well, with the Lakers series, have any predictions for that, Tyrell or anyone else?
if Chris Paul doesn't play, it's going to be a sweep from here on in.
Yeah.
So we're thinking 4-1 Lakers.
That's my guess.
That sounds about right.
Gross.
Yeah.
This is something funny, and this is just, it's not the Lakers, but it just popped up because we were talking about it with the Knicks. I don't know if this is true. I really hope it is. Like, it's a real like tweet, but it's like just someone just said the entire Garden has been handed these, and it's just like a page, like handout.
Is it Trey's what? Trey's
balding.
Oh,
and
my
it just
God.
says tonight's chant is Trey's balding.
I would not be surprised at all.
No way.
The first comment is gonna sound like Trey is balling.
Do you know what's funny about that? Because I was just gonna read a tweet, and it's actually from Trae Young, and it's like, if they hate me that much, I'm obviously doing something right. At the end of the day, fans can only talk. They ain't guarding me.
I
love it. He's like, get out of here.
Talk, man.
I think he's slowly become like one of my favorite players.
Yeah, man.
He just grows on you.
The funny looking dude, though.
That's all right.
He might actually be balding.
Oh, yeah. Balding for sure.
There's something going on there.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be 4-1 Lakers.
Yeah, for sure.
Because like LeBron was hyped last game. He was getting. I know Caldwell Pope has been shooting like 11% or something ridiculous.
Yeah, did you see the clip where he got up in his face?
Yeah, LeBron was just trying to get everyone like just on his level. So when you see LeBron like that, you see Anthony Davis.
Yeah,
being Anthony Davis, then,
Captain LeBron mode.
Yeah, you lose someone like Chris Paul. There's not much hope.
Yeah. So I guess before we move on, we'll just read out the playoff picture so far for the NHL and the NBA.
Yeah.
NHL. Colorado has done the little sweepy.
Swept
against the Blues.
I'm never going to hear that word the same again.
So they're moving on. Golden Knights lead Minnesota 3-2. Toronto leads 3-1 against the Habs.
Oh, sorry.
The Jets
swept
the Oilers. So and then on the other side of things, we have the Penguins leading their series against the Islanders 3-2.
Which it looks like it's gonna be the other way. It's gonna. Oh no! Isn't it the Islanders?
Yeah, no. New York leads the series 3-2.
Yeah,
my bad.
It's looking now like they're gonna win it because they're chasing Jari. They're chasing Jari.
Coming back.
Jari can't save a fucking beach ball again here tonight.
Swiss cheese.
Oh, Swiss cheese.
It's
so bad.
Sorry,
Boston. That's all good. We got Boston win their series 4-1. Carolina leading their series 3-2 against the Panthers. The Lightning leading their series 3-2 against the. My bad. Preds in the previous one. Panthers in this one.
Man.
So jumping over to the NBA, we have Memphis leads their series against the Jazz 1-0. Dallas leads their series 2-0 against the Clippers. Series tied for the Trailblazers and the Nuggets. Lakers Suns tied. On the other side of things, we have Philly up 1-0 against Washington. Atlanta up 1-0 against the Knicks. Milwaukee 2-0 against Miami. And last but certainly not least, in something that looks like it's going to be a complete stinker, Brooklyn up 2-0 against Boston. And I smell
sweat
in the first round.
Jason Tatum shooting 4 for 18 in the last 20 minutes. So
God,
ouch,
not good.
Yeah, was it just last week where we were praising him? Hey, Tatum's a great player. He is. But last week we were talking about him putting up 60. But that was a play-in game, I think.
Oh,
you think Sixers are gonna sweep the Wizards?
I'm thinking.
It's 71-59.
I'm thinking Wizards will take one, just like I did. Yeah. I predicted the result of the Wizards Pacers, because the Pacers were on a roll. Remember, in the play-in, I was like, I think I'm gonna go with Westbrook because he can sporadically put off these incredible performances. So that's for that reason I'm going to go with the Wizards snagging one game. I think.
Dude, that Nuggets Trailblazers series is sick.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard and Jokic just fucking trading.
Yeah, it's great. That's another great series. We'll definitely cover that more in weeks come. I gotta watch more of the highlights of that one because Yeah.
I think.
Go ahead, Tyrell.
Oh, sorry. I think that's definitely the best series. Like that might go to Game 7, and it'll be an entertaining Game 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, with a lot of these series, it's like, man, one of these teams is going to get bumped in the first round. It's crazy. Tyrell, before we move on, did you want to say a couple words about the Clippers Mavs, maybe?
Oh man, they just need to move like out of LA. They should sell that team to Seattle. Like, Christ, how do you want like dodge LeBron purposely? Like, not even you just sit your players and then go down 2-0.
Yeah,
and like on paper, a lot of people say the Clippers on paper look better than the Mavs, but I don't think so, man. You got like 1 through 8, and I guess it's like the Edmonton Oilers situation for the Clippers. Like, you got 2 guys who can score.
Yeah,
and then who else do you have?
They're really that thin, hey? Outside of that,
yeah, you got Reggie Jackson, who
Patrick motherfucking Beverly.
Yeah, you got a few old guys, and
yeah, he's not gonna do anything for yourself.
You got Guy and Guy.
Yeah, you got guy number 1, guy number 2, and then you guard Luka, and you guard Porzingis.
Tim Hardaway.
Dude, yeah, you leave Tim Hardaway open.
Yeah.
On your rotation, Tim Hardaway dropped, I think, 29 points or something, because they were rotating off Tim Hardaway, who was probably the best shooter in the series, and just let him shoot bombs all day. And I have no sympathy for Kawhi, who left Toronto.
I don't either. I was gonna say the same thing.
As Canadians here on the show,
he left Toronto. He had the option to go with LeBron and AD, and I think he had an option to go with Kevin Durant or someone else, but he chose to go Paul George to the fucking Clippers.
He wanted to go home. Really, at the end of the day, he just wanted to.
That was his quote. I think he's like, "I'm going home."
But now he's home and he doesn't want to be there anymore. If you look at their faces when they're playing, and Kawhi's just like,
yeah,
sure, you don't smile. Well, we got one.
His face is like that anyway.
Yeah, I know.
No matter what.
There's not a whole lot of motion going on there.
But instead of a tiny little curve, there's no curve at all.
I just immediately think of that scene from Step Brothers. We're like, this house sucks.
That's another sound drop we gotta get.
Yeah.
Oh, and one last thing I want to mention about these series. With the Grizzlies series, Mississauga's own Dylan Brooks, holy cow, he's having a breakout kind of playoff berth. I don't know if it's his first, if it's his debut or not, but he had 31. He had 31 against the number 1 seed Jazz, man. Crazy.
Nice. Canada basketball.
Awesome.
Good for him.
Up and up.
Canada's own. He's looking great. He guarded Steph Curry great in the play-in. Good stuff. All around.
Did Andrew Wiggins commit to Team Canada there? I thought that was news I saw recently.
I think he did.
I'm not sure, but he was on the receiving end. There's a lot of Canadians in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Love it.
RJ Barrett is, I think, popping off this game too. Pretty sure.
Wow.
Good stuff.
Let's go. I would love to see like a Team Canada though. Like if they're committed to Team Canada, like I'd love to see them with actual like competitive players.
Yeah.
Speaking of Team Canada, did you see the World Cup roster?
Oh no! Don't no. Oh.
This might be the worst Team Canada in the history of Team Canada.
Aren't they 0-3?
Yes, they've lost to Latvia, Germany, and I don't know who else they've lost to.
Latvia shut them out.
Yes.
Jesus.
This Latvian hockey player.
Yeah, that's how bad it is. It was the first win against Team Canada in history.
Oh. Is there any NHL players from Latvia right now?
Maybe one or two.
There is a few. Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know if the way the world, it's not even worth talking about, to be honest with you, because of how unserious North America takes the Worlds at this point.
Yeah, it's true.
You can't even get NHLers to barely commit anymore. So they got 2 or 3 kids on it right now that aren't even drafted yet. So I mean, I don't know. It's just a garbage. I just had to bring that up.
No, it's great. Love it.
It's just bad. It's not even worth talking about.
It's funny, Mitch. It's almost better. Like, it would almost be a better idea if Canada actually just took the World Juniors team.
Yes,
it'd probably be a better team.
I honestly think they'd be more competitive.
Yeah.
Let's I like that though. Throw in the little tidbits whenever you can. Little bits.
Little nuggets.
Little bits and bites.
Yeah,
let's
hilarious.
get to the body count.
Body count.
So,
I love it.
so for this week's body count nomination, we have Kawhi Leonard. Unfortunately, we're just kind of chirping him, but Kawhi Leonard posterizes Maxi Kleber on Saturday in Game 1 of their series. Let's take a little listen.
Yeah.
Team high expectations for the Clippers after finishing with the 5th best record in the NBA and a ton of injuries during the regular season. Leonard gets the steal, 3-on-1. Kawhi slams it down.
Oh.
Somebody get that baby out the street. I see you, Kawhi. Man, look, those paws, and all I'm going to say is this. When Kawhi gets going and just put him in the basket in the backdrop.
There you go.
Well,
featuring The Weeknd at the end.
the best shot. There's the shot from the rim where it shows his face, like the old Kawhi, like the classic Kawhi, like just like determination face.
Yes. And I like how Richard Jefferson, like on the call too, he's like, "Got them paws." Yeah, Kawhi's massive hands. Good. So we got a couple dunks on the body count now. What do we got? Are we at like 2 body counts? 3, I think.
Solid 3 for sure.
Yeah. More.
Well, didn't we have one dunk that was 3 just in that one dunk? Who was that again?
That was
Oh, Giannis.
No, yes, it was Giannis on 3 Spurs defenders.
Yes.
I think we're on 5. I think we're on like 5.
I don't think we had that one on the body count. I think I casually brought that one.
Well, it counts now. It counts now on the body count.
Excellent.
We're adding it in.
All right, so without further ado, I guess we'll jump to the other segment. Let's get to the pick and roll.
Hey, bro! Hey!
I like the pick and roll. I like the give and go.
Answer the question.
Freak out, yo!
All right, so this week, I actually didn't know this. I guess they're not having an awards ceremony this year. I guess they're just kind of like leaking the awards out one by one. But we had Julius Randle winning Most Improved Player. Beautiful little moment where his son brought him the award. So sweet.
Nice.
Excellent, man.
And Jordan Clarkson wins the 6th Man of the Year. And this is great because Tyrell predicted it was going to be Joe Ingles. Solid prediction, obviously. And I predicted Jordan Clarkson. And they came 1 and 2 in voting, and they're on the same team. What the hell?
Crazy.
Did you see how they presented that one?
Yeah.
So which one's the 6th man?
The 6th man, like,
can't both be the 6th man.
Joe's the 7th man.
Yeah, what's the 7th man?
But there's no award for that, Josh. Sorry. No, there's no 7.
That was adorable how they were interviewing both Joe and Jordan, and they was laid back, and I can't remember if it was like Chuck or someone said congratulations, and Joe hauled up the trophy and like gave it to Jordan, and he had like no idea what was going on.
Yeah, I think what they said was like there's only one Utah Jazz player to ever win 6th Man of the Year, and Joe was like, "It's you." Yeah. He actually had a quote afterwards. He said, "He stole it from me. I should have stopped passing him the ball." Joking, of course. But yeah, cool to see that. Good guys.
Joe Ingles looks like he runs a New Balance, like the dad New Balance. And
he's gonna sing cares about shit.
Cares about how what his lawn looks like and shit.
They should make high top classic dad New Balance shoes. The guys come around court.
Yeah, he does not look like a dude who's dicing people for like 17 points a night in the NBA.
Yeah, I know, really though. They need to make it. Yeah, they need to give him a shoe deal. Just make it like whatever, green and yellow, like the Jazz colors, those classic New Balance shoes, but mostly white. You gotta have white.
Just have a lot of white in there.
You gotta have the white for the grass stains. For
I was just gonna say, yeah, you gotta just have some mock grass stains.
Next up, we got Phil Mickelson wins his 6th major.
Good for him, man.
So he's pretty old. Let's be
awesome, man.
Let's be straight up.
Right?
Like the one out of the bunker, man. Like what a beast! Just
he was shooting well. He was shooting well the entire tournament.
How old is he now?
50 on the dot, I believe.
Yeah.
50 what?
50 on the dot.
50? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So good for him.
Didn't he when he was approaching his the final hole, the final round? like all the crowd was just like coming in. This might have been after his last part. I don't know. And in the commentaries, they're losing control. They're losing control of the crowd. And it was just like, man, if this is a hockey game, it's be like, all right, they're just getting fired up here.
They need to stop it. Give it up.
I did see a shot, and I don't know if it was Phil's shot or not. It was on one of the holes. I don't know if it was a tee off or where it was lying, but like the crowd were like probably no more than 4 feet from on each side of them.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, if you're not a pro, you're cranking a crowd.
You're killing him,
man.
Right in the head. Right in the head.
Yeah, I seen a highlight. Like, I think he was. I don't know anything about golf, but the crowd looked like they were angled, like around from the camera angle. Look at the crowd was angled around the shot, so it looked like you had to like. I think that's probably what you're talking about. You had to get like straight on, or it's going to beam someone.
Yes.
Like if it was me, I just
if you slice that ball, that's it.
Oh, and the camera crew was like, they had their cameras there, but they had their heads down and like hats on.
Because they were genuinely worried they were going to get hit in the head. Camera guard me.
Just takes the swing, and he's dead.
They're losing control. They're losing control.
Yeah, man, it was so funny. I'll find it and I'll send it to you guys. They're losing control of the crowd. Oh god,
that's amazing. So
you're just celebrating the man. Give it up.
Got a little bit more golf on the pick and roll here. New addition to the match, which is essentially when you got like a celebrity or athlete that pairs up with a pro golfer, and it's 2 teams facing off against each other. What was it before? It was Steph Curry and Tiger versus Tom Brady and Phil Mickelson, I think, before.
No, I think it was last time it was Brady and Mickelson versus Manning and Woods.
Right.
I think that's who it was.
So this year we have Phil Mickelson and Tom Brady versus Bryson DeChambeau and Aaron Rodgers.
No way.
Yeah. So it's a fun little thing. I like it.
Yeah, it was good last time. I don't know how it'd be. I don't know how. Actually, no. Aaron Rodgers is good on the mic too. He's well spoken, so it shouldn't be too bad. It's just Peyton Manning's funny because he chirps pretty well.
He chirps hard. Yeah.
He's pretty good at chirping. But I think the best part was the back and forth when they were giving Brady shit.
Yeah.
Chuck was hosting, commentating.
Chuck on the call is amazing. And what was it that like Chuck was like chirping him, and then it was a long chip in, and he sunk it from the fairway, and he was like, "How's that, Chuck?" Like just right, like fired up about it. It was amazing. Good, some good moments. I like the idea. I don't think it's been around for that long, but I like the idea, especially like where everyone's mic'd up and stuff.
It was
adds so much
really
personality
good last year too, because it was when sports were pretty much at a complete standstill.
That's right.
And it was like the first like real like sporting thing on TV in forever.
Yeah.
So it was a really good thing to watch. It was just fun. It kind of took your mind away from it, but you got to see a lot of good personality and stuff like that. It was really fun to watch.
Yeah, I forgot it was during that period. Yeah, it was like because there was no crowd, obviously, just like the Masters at that point. It was super weird. But yeah, one more golf topic on the pick and roll. I believe it was the same tournament that Mickelson won. Brooks Koepka. There was a clip that I don't know if it was probably not supposed to be leaked out, but it was essentially an interview botched, and he said like restart it because Bryson DeChambeau walked behind the shot, which is something you don't do. It's pretty straightforward, especially dudes getting interviewed by Golf Channel, which is a big network. So Koepka's talking to the mic. You see DeChambeau. He says something. You can't really hear what he says. Probably calling him Brooksy like he's been doing during the tournament. And you can see Koepka just look down. He stares at him first, and then just like shakes his head. He's like,
his eyes roll in the back of his head.
Yeah, and he drops an F-bomb there somewhere. He's something like I lost my train of thought after that fucking nonsense or something like that. But yeah, those guys have a bit of a history and don't like each other. A lot of people don't like Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah, he's got that personality, man.
Yeah. Just screams douche, really.
Yeah.
Such a bro.
Such a
bro.
Bryson DeChambeau.
Okay. Next up on the pick and roll, Wayne Gretzky resigns from his position with the Oilers, vice president of something. What is he, guys?
I don't even know.
Director of.
The real question is, what did he do?
Yeah,
who knows?
I guess he was just a figurehead. I don't know.
Chairman. That's what he was. What was he?
Vice chairman.
Vice president of chairman.
Vice president of the board.
Yeah. He just stands there. That's his job.
Yeah.
Just be a face. Just be a face.
They were probably just using him in some sort of consultant capacity.
Yeah.
And just paying him, giving him a position. Like,
it's like, how are you today, Wayne? I'm good. All right.
Yeah.
Enjoy
Thanks,
your
Wayne.
Thanks for coming.
What should we do, Wayne?
Play
Connor McDavid more.
Okay.
Thanks, Wayne.
Thanks, Wayne.
I'm just picturing this as like an actual segment. It's like,
that reminds me of, do you remember that Nike commercial with Kobe Bryant?
Which
and what's he saying? What's he saying? It's and Kanye's in the crowd, and he says, "Well, he says something that's like, play harder" or something like that. He's
right.
like, what the fuck does that mean, Kobe? I can't remember what the mantra was, but it was something like that didn't really make sense of what he was saying. And it's just like Kanye asked him a question, and Kanye's just like, "What the fuck does that mean, Kobe?"
I don't get it.
So what seemed like, I don't know, was it even a day after Turner announced that he was going to be part of the TNT broadcast panel for hockey? So cool stuff. We were saying before the show, not sure if Wayne's ever been in a analyst capacity before, but
no.
he comes across as very, pretty soft-spoken and like reserved. So I don't know.
Just a lot of knowledge in that name.
Well, I don't see. The thing is with Wayne is he's like the most superstars. He's not the most flamboyant or energetic person. Like when I think of TV personality, I don't think of Wayne Gretzky. You know what I mean? But I mean, this is big for growing the sport down the States. Yeah. I mean, if Americans know hockey, even if they don't know hockey, they know Wayne Gretzky. So it brings a lot of familiarity there and a lot of trust and people in the jobs. Like, oh, that's, I know that name. But also I think it's going to be interesting, even if Wayne Gretzky is not the most entertaining. I think you don't get to hear a lot from Wayne Gretzky, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing.
It's very similar to like a Jordan situation. Like you don't get to hear all that much. So I feel like he's going to get a lot of eyeballs on the TV just because of that. Because like everyone's locked in when that dude's talking.
I think you'll hear some. I think it'll be cool. You'll hear some stories. I think, and some point of views you've never heard before. Yeah. That's gonna be really interesting and fun to listen to.
When you put it that way, I'm looking forward to that. Actually,
yeah.
It was a very smart and calculated move, being that the first hire for TNT. With now that hockey's on, like you take the greatest player of all time and just even put him in a role where he could just be somewhat insightful.
Yeah,
make hockey bigger.
I'm actually going to be very interested if they have him breaking down plays. I'm interested to see how he sees it.
See how that hockey mind of his works.
Like I'm really very interested to see how he sees it, or if like someone screws something up or says should have done this. I'm really interested to see what he says and says how what he sees and what should have been done or could have been done.
Yeah. Is he going to be all Tony Romo, like predicting plays before they happen?
Maybe. I think Tony Romo just has Tony Romo's just got a pure knack for it, though, man.
Broadcaster.
You gotta think that the reason why Gretzky had a hard time being a coach is because his expectations of players were like, well, why can't you just do the thing? Why can't you just do the thing that I need you to do?
Just do hockey.
I'm not Wayne Gretzky. It's a great one.
I like how you made yourself smaller, Josh. I'm not you.
I'm not you. It's just do the thing.
Oh no, that's guaranteed. That's why he was not a good coach. I mean, you can't. No one physically can see the game the way he sees it.
Yeah.
And at a similar situation, I remember Ron Whitney, I think it was on the Chicklets pod, talking about how Sid was coming back to the bench when they was playing with him in Pittsburgh, and he was freaking out, saying like this is like, it's like, Sid, I can't fucking see the game the way you do. I'm not a fucking superstar. I don't see the game the same way you do.
Wait, who is that?
Ryan Whitney.
Was
playing with the Penguins, so Sid was on the same team as Sid. And Sid came back to the bench roaring, and he was like, what do you want from me? I don't see the game the way you do.
It's funny how players are like that, though. They just They're just different, man.
Yeah. Last up on the pick and roll, we got LeBron James breaches health and safety protocol. He does not get a fine. The league has released a statement about it. Unfortunately, I haven't read it. If anyone has, feel free to bring it up. But Kristaps Porzingis of the Mavs, he did breach it in a different manner. He went to a club and got slammed with a $50,000 one. So, from what I know, LeBron was promoting some sort of liquor, tequila, maybe, at a supposedly controlled event where you had to show proof of vaccination and that sort of thing. So I guess that's what the league's going with.
Maybe the tequila was why he saw 3 nets. Now it makes sense.
Thank you.
He shot for the middle one. That's why he saw the 3.
So just a bit greasy there.
Did we not talk about this, Alex? When I brought this up about with LeBron, I'm like, if this is another player, you're like, instantly there's going to be a fine, and then boom, it happened, and we were like,
yeah, it's true.
Frustrating.
And yeah, sure enough, it did. Kristaps Porzingis went out to a club, having a little time, drinking his Kristaps beers, and got slammed with $50K.
So are they saying the difference is because LeBron was there for business and Porzingis was just partying, having a time?
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, that's what it comes down to, which is somewhat understandable. It's just
maybe he went to the club business. This is my I'm here. I'm all business. I'm going to the club.
Hey, and you can essentially do the same thing that LeBron's doing. Just grab a liquor bottle from the club. It's like, I'm here to promote this tequila.
Why not?
You see this Jameson whiskey? I made this.
I'm here to promote this trunk juice.
This scissor.
Oh, God.
So I think Trae Young took the mayor's threat personally and is popping off right now.
Let's read out some scores.
It's 57-44 at halftime now, and it was like tie game when I last checked. And this is a Trae Young from the logo.
Yes.
Oh, here we go.
Wait, it'll restart. I don't know how to restart it, but it will. And it's like it would have a better camera angle. It's so far out.
Trae Young looks like a troll though.
Wow,
and that's not even to beat the buzzer. That's just
so.
He does. No, it's not a troll, bitch. He looks like an orc.
So God,
he's an orc. He is an orc.
So for those listening, he's pulling up from the logo, looking great.
And he hit another one right as soon as I was checking that too. I don't know if that's from that.
What a legend!
Love to see the confidence. Hey, we're becoming Trae fans here on the pod.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Trae's.
I need to get his top shot. Next one.
Ooh.
Yeah. That'd be a pricey one.
Yeah,
that'd be excellent.
Trae John.
Just do it.
So I gotta play this last little. I couldn't really find a place for it in the show. Probably should have dropped it in the Leafs Habs, but got one more sound drop that I want to show off.
This is for you, Josh.
Courtesy of Fred, who suggested it.
But they are who we thought they were.
So,
you remember that where that's from? That's for the Bears. What was it? The coach? I can't remember.
Is not the playoffs? Is it?
Yeah, I guess. What was it? The Falcons. Anyways,
yeah,
I'm trying to remember. I know what you're talking about. They are who we thought they were.
But they are who we thought they were.
I was like, this is Dom Ducharme with
we need a good coach sound clip, like a new fresh 2021 one. I feel like there hasn't been a good coach sound clip in a while.
Yeah, because everyone's so reserved.
What has Tortorella said this year?
Tortorella doesn't say anything. That's the fucking issue.
Yeah,
he won't answer any freaking questions.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, we had "Take That" for data. Remember that, Tyrell? That was that was a big quote. But yeah, I guess we'll.
Then he got fired.
Then he got fired. True enough. Guess we'll call it there for this week's pod. Thank you very much for everyone listening. Make sure to follow us on Spotify, likes on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube to see all that good content, and follow us on Twitch because we are live right now, and we will be in the foreseeable future for other shows. Any closing words before I say goodbye, boys?
The Brits are gonna get sweat.
Montreal is making a comeback.
You heard it here.
They're losing control. They're losing control.
Oh man!
Amazing. See you next week, guys.
Peace, guys.